Hello everyone, welcome to Lab 2 of Advanced Cognitive Psychology. What I want to achieve in this video is walking you through some tools and some things that you may want to consider when you are doing parts 1 and 2 of the assignment for today. So, we are in PSYC Cloud. One thing you will notice that I've already done is I've gone ahead and I've uploaded a quote-unquote clean version of our data file from last week. And I say clean in air quotes because if we open this up, we look around, you will notice that not everyone completed our survey as we would have hoped. There's a lot of NAs here, and so one of the first things we want to do before we try to do any sort of analysis is actually remove those NAs. One way we can do that is by using this NA omit function on our original data frame and saving it to a new data frame. And then we can view what we've done here. And if we look through, there are no NAs, everything looks clean. We should be good to go to do some more interesting things in our script. So, I have this here as a note. This may apply to you, it may not apply to you. I just want to bring it up because sometimes it happens. Occasionally, you're doing things in R and you get an error message that's telling you that you're trying to do something on the inappropriate kind of variable. So for example, you may try to do math on a character type of variable, or you're trying to do math on NAs or something like that. If that happens to you, you can always check the type of variable of a column in a data frame using this type of function. And if you actually need to convert something over, for example, converting a character over to a numeric, you can check out this article on how to do type conversion in R, or you can look up the term data type conversion in R to get you started there. Let's actually focus on some things that'll be useful for running our analysis. So you notice in this script, I highly recommend you do this when you're writing your own scripts for analysis, that you put down some to-dos or some things that you know you need to accomplish in order to achieve these particular things. And I've got some columns here that are some intermediary steps that may help us with those to-dos. So for example, one thing you may notice is you may need to do some restructuring of your data. Maybe you need to compute new columns for variables. This type of cleaning is known as data wrangling, and I'm going to highly recommend that you do it using a package known as tidyverse. It contains a series of packages that shows you how to install it. If you click this packages tab here, you can see some of the packages that are included that'll be useful for today, like ggplot or dplyr. I want to point out dplyr for a second here. It's very useful in thinking about things that are related to data wrangling. And so I want to highlight this mutate function, which is really nice because it allows you to create new columns based on existing values. So if I go back to PSYC Cloud, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I install tidyverse. I'm accessing dplyr. And I bring this up because if you recall from last week, we talked about this idea of dichotomizing variables. So for example, maybe I want to dichotomize the response options for question 29. If you recall, this is the question that's asking you if you like hanging out at Pearl Street or the Hill or neither of those places. And maybe I want a new column such that if you like to hang out at Pearl Street or the Hill, I'm going to turn that value into a 1. And if you like to hang out at neither of those places, I want to turn that value into a 2. If you look at our current data frame, you'll see that things are not dichotomized. We've got 2s, we've got 1s, and we've got 3s. But we may want to change that up. To do that, we can use this type of mutate function here, and we can use this case when function. I run this, I've got a new data frame I'm working with now. And if I look, I've got this new column called PHN for Pearl, Hill, or neither. You can name that whatever you want. And we just should have a bunch of 1s and 2s. If you have any questions about how mutate or case when works, please feel free to look up the documentation for them, or just ask me when we're in class. You may need to do this for other variables, so just keep this sort of line of logic in mind. Then you'll want to make sure that you're conducting your tests. You've got your chi-square test, you've got your t-test, you've got your correlation. You want to make sure that you're using ggplot in order to create some plots for your data. You may make something that looks like this, and you can actually add stuff like a best fit line or a correlational value by messing around with these arguments. You want to make sure that you save your plots as well using this ggsave function. You can check out some documentation here at these links. I will put all of this in the description for your use. And yeah, make sure you grab your output, make sure you grab your figures. You got all that so that you can write things up. If you have any questions about this, please shoot me an email or we can talk about it in more detail during class.